I've been doing dark stuff for my whole life. For some reason, when I was a little kid, I always loved horror movies. It was just one of those forbidden. My parents wouldn't let me watch horror movies, so I would have to sneak up at night and watch them. Watching scary movies in the dark. It's always just been a thrilling thing for me, I guess, and so that's just what I'm drawn to make. I'm not really a dark person or anything like that. Before I was born, my mom worked for the artist Georgia O'Keeffe for 2 years and lived with her and everything, and was sort of a live-in assistant and companion. And then not long after that, you know, she left. I think she felt kind of isolated living in Abiquiu. She lived with O'Keeffe for a year and then moved to a small town nearby. And yeah, eventually met my dad and had me, and when I was born, I guess O'Keeffe wanted to meet me, and so my mom took me back there. Yeah, the story that I've been told is that I was crawling around O'Keeffe's house and pulling open drawers, and my mom was trying to stop me. And O'Keeffe said, "Oh, let him explore." I was always drawing from a young age. Started, you know, drawing stuff like this, monsters and monsters and bloody faces and stuff. And Mom would always she made a rule that I couldn't draw any blood. A lot of artists are doing pretty stuff and flowers and mountains and trees and stuff like that, and I'm just not interested in that. I like pictures of abandoned buildings and strange faces. But a lot of my stuff also is kind of, you know, in a subconscious nature. When I'm drawing, I don't know what it's going to be when I start it, you know. I just follow my hand. I start drawing and see what it turns into. So maybe there is a lot of dark in me if that's what's coming out. I drew for a number of years, and then once I got into high school, I was still doing a lot of drawing, but I became more interested in music and started singing in bands and just wanted to be a rock star, you know. So yeah, I was pursuing music pretty seriously. Went to school, took a little bit of music theory and some voice classes and some audio production classes and sound design, but also, you know, studying literature and English, and also took a digital photography class, and that's when I started getting into photography a little bit. Borrowed a camera from my dad and went on my first urban exploration trip with a friend. We just went out in the country and tried to just see what we could find. And it was a really overcast day, and we ended up finding this big abandoned factory and sneaking inside of it, and then also finding some old farmhouses and stuff like that to explore. And those pictures ended up being what made up my first book. And yeah, I just started getting back into the visual realm, and the band I was in was falling apart. I suddenly made this drastic switch to just doing visual stuff. When I was about 7 years old, I saw the movie Batman on an airplane back from Thailand, and I got into the Danny Elfman music from it. And so he was one of the early influences for me. Also like a lot of Italian film composers like Nino Rota and Ennio Morricone and Henry Mancini. All this music had been building up inside me and finally had to start coming out again. Also sort of trying to find ways for the music to complement the artwork and complement the visuals. I go through phases where I focus on one thing. I'll focus on photography for a while. I spend a lot of time editing the photos and stuff like that, but then I also like to show paintings. And then I spend a lot of time with music too, writing music for imagery that I do. I definitely have an interest in filmmaking as well, so I think at some point I might try to explore that and sort of combine everything, because I feel like film is sort of the ultimate art form. I just want to be successful, I guess. I want to sell paintings and sell artwork and sell my books and sell my music and really get to a point where I'm getting to do it on a bigger scale and making money doing it. Just hope to keep doing it. If you'd like to see some of my work and listen to my music, visit my website, which is www.grethligon.com.